Hello, welcome to our webinar. My name is Carlos Fonseca. I am the Timbeter. Um, Today we have also Yotsna with us. You will hear from her later. She will explain the features and how the solution works. She will also give us a demo, a live demo on how these features work in our web platform. So before that, I wanted to let you know that you can send us any questions. You have a questions tab here in Livestorm in the platform, and you can send us a questions during the presentation at any time, and we will address these questions at the end of the presentation, or we could also just respond with the text, and then at the end we can address and go a little bit more in depth. Following the end of the webinar, you will receive an email. In this email, I have included some guides and tips regarding how to use our cloud solution. For example, for reporting and for creating inventories. But also, I have included another link to a step-by-step guide on how to get started with Timbeter for those of you that have not yet downloaded the app and created register a new account. I think it's important to tell you that once you register for a new account, you get 10 free measurements. These measurements, you can use them to create a pilot and well, see how it can the application can work for you in your use case. If you want to have a trial for your company, please get in touch with us. You can get in touch with Yotsna or with others in the team and the sales team, and they can set you up for a pilot project for your company. So you can be able to connect more than one device and see how you can share information through different devices and in different locations. Also, how you can create some of and use some of the features that we will be seeing today. So also in our app, once you download the app, you will be able to have access to manuals and a guided tour of some of the functionalities. And we have included in this tour of the app, we have included some pictures. So as a demo, so you can see how some of these functionalities work. Well, you are seeing in the screen right now, you are seeing the step-by-step guide that I will send to you. In this guide, you have the links to download the application, Timbeter application for Android and for Apple devices. You can also create and register an account in our web platform, and this guy will it will tell you how to get started and start doing measurements with us and getting the best results possible. Okay, well, this is it from my side. As I said, You can contact us by email at info@timbeter.com, or you can also follow us and follow us on LinkedIn and or Facebook, and you can get in touch with us there as well. Okay, so we will hear now from Yotsna. Let's start the webinar.
Hello, and thank you, Carlos, for the introduction. So let's just go ahead and see how storage module works. What is storage module? Hello, and thank you, Carlos, for the introduction. So let's just go ahead and see how storage module works. What is storage module and how teams can work remotely? So as you can see from our previous webinars, we have actually taken you through the process of roundwood measurement with the help of our apps. So Timbeter has basically 3 apps available on Android and iOS both. One is the Timbeter regular app, which does all sorts of measurements for roundwood, like diameter measurement, as well as volume and density coefficient, and so on. The other app is for Timbeter Container, which is particularly for companies which use Timbeter in containers. And then we have another one, which is Timbeter Log Counter, which is particularly for counting the number of logs in a pile. So all these 3 apps are available for you to download, and you can have a look at them while we take you through the demo and the presentation today. So like we said, so basically apart from the app, which is used to measure the roundwood and the basic details, after that you are done, once you're done measuring the roundwood, the entire data about the measurements is saved also on the app, and it's also synced with the storage module. So storage module is what we call is basically the dashboard for Timbeter. You can access this with app.timbeter.com as well. When you go to this storage module, this is you can open it on your browser as well, of your phone, or on your desktop. If you open it, it's even better, basically. And all the measurements that you have done on the app can be easily be viewed on this storage module, and can also be edited through the storage module and accessed. So when you're a small or even a big organization, you might have multiple people doing the measurements at different locations, and you might need to share this data with other people in the company or with your partners, or etc. So in that case, all this information which is available for you on the storage module can be easily synced and shared with other people. So as you can see, this is how our storage module looks. You can see here the types of storage, or you can create different filters and find out which storage you want to look for, and what kind of measurements you have done, what is the storage status. So basically, if you have different locations and different storages, you can add their data differently under storage module for Timbeter, and you can access it according to their locations and different details that you have updated. So as you can see, these are the different storages that have been created, and you can see their coordinates, their map coordinates. You can see the last update that was made in this particular storage, and also the status of that. So for example, if it's on hold, currently it's not working, not operational, you can do this in process also, meaning everything's working fine. And then all the measurement details that can be viewed here. You can even see the log count as well, and so on. So a basic detail is visible from the first page itself. However, if you want to go into further details, you can click on it and go. So we can actually take you through the demo, and you would be able to see how you can access these different storages. And you can see this data from here with these filters, and also you can save it as in the Excel form and so on. And you can also see the map view from here. So let's just go ahead. This is basically the mobile app version. We wanted to show basically the results screen. When you are done taking the picture of the log file and entering the basic details, this is the screen that is visible to you on the app, which covers all the major details. For example, the volume and the average diameter, the tree species that you had selected, and the diameter profile. So all this data can be viewed from the mobile app as well, and it can be linked with your storage module where all the data can be easily managed. Also, you obviously have this option to measure again on the app itself, where if you have done any mistakes by any chance, you can always go back and edit the measurements. Similarly, once you're done with the mobile app measurements, you can always come back to the cloud storage module and also access those measurements and edit them if required. So in the next point, we will discuss that this measurements that you can do with Timbeter can also work while you're offline. So for example, if your measurers are in the forest or some area where there's no network internet coverage, you can still go ahead and do the measurements. You can take the picture. All the data will be synchronized with the app storage module whenever you go online, basically. So you do not have to worry about having an internet connection while making the measurements. There is also an option to integrate our solution with your internal systems. So a lot of companies use their own internal CRM systems and software solutions, and so managing data and uploading data differently on Timbeter would be another step. And in order to help you out with that issue, we have these API integrations that can be easily done with your existing systems. The next thing is that we also have this option for QR codes. So for example, if you have this information, extra information that you need for every log, you can also put these QR codes on the logs, and our system can easily detect these QR codes from the app itself, and it can generate all these detailed reports about these logs as well, and you can see all the data coming through the QR codes. Like shown in the picture here, this is the way you can stick it to it and then use Timbeter on top of that. So this information is now coming together on the dashboard, and it obviously helps with the remote teamwork. So you might have different measurements in different locations and different people working out of different locations in the company. Even if you're a small company, in that case also you would have 2 to 3 people using the measurements and seeing what all is happening, what kind of logs are coming in, what kind of consignments are coming in. All this data becomes crucial for you to see at an organizational level. And so we have this option where you can add multiple users under the same account. You can even give different roles to these people. For example, one person is only the measurer. He should not have the option to edit from the storage module, or he should not have the access to other storages and so on. So all that kind of role defining can happen from here. You can also see all the organizational details here. You can also create these assortments. For example, you have different assortments in your site, in your log yard, where you're working with different tree species as well. So all that data can actually be added as an assortment, and it can be selected as different assortments in the storage module. And when next time some measurer goes to the field and does the measurement, he can actually, from the app itself, he can select the relevant assortment and add the measurement to that one. So it eases the entire work so much. You can easily bundle the details, and you can access all the information related to certain assortments in a different way. So now you can also, like I said, since we are having different users under the same account, it becomes also crucial for you to add different devices on the account level as well. So if there are new measurers or the existing measurers, you can always add new devices from here. So you can see all this information is synchronized. And it's also possible to understand storages and inventories according to the device details. So you can see on the screen that there is this device name, user email ID, the number of measurements that have been done from that particular device, and when was it last used. So next, another feature on the storage module is having this log by log report. This basically gives you not just for the whole pile, but in the pile, the details of each and every log can be captured here in this report, and it can also be downloaded in the form of PDF or Excel form. This is one of the most important features that a lot of people ask us about, is that, for example, like I said, on the app, you have the option to always go back and measure or edit some details in the measurements that you have done. Similarly, if you, on the account level, if you see there are some measurements and, for example, there are some logs missed in the picture, you can always go and edit it from the storage module as well. You can add, delete, measure logs. You can even edit the reference size. For example, like if you think that the reference has not been marked properly, you can adjust that. You can adjust the density area and so on. And on the API integration front, we can see, like as we talked about earlier, it can easily be integrated with your ERP systems. And 1C Accepta SAP is the most common one that we have done so far, the integration with them. So this is one of the most common ones. However, most of your internal systems can be integrated with our system. So to talk about the general functionalities of the web storage module, this is basically a control panel of all your measurements that you have done through the app, or you know, if you have added any measurements manually as well, that also you can see from here, and you can add and manage them all together. You can see the map vision of all the locations. So for example, you have in the same country, in the same city as well, there are different locations where the measurements are happening. You can literally see where exactly on the map all the measurements are being done. And like we said, the information can be filtered by day or species, or even the address, the shipment number, and so it becomes very easy for you to access the data. You can also share the data through the URL link, and you can you can access the reports in Excel and PDF format as well, like we said. Timbeter storage module can be very easy and simple to use, and it just provides you with easy, transparent, and efficient way of managing and accessing data. All this information is available in one place. So there is no ambiguity, there is no you know, disputes between people. If you have if you've been working with your partners or sellers or buyers, all this information can be also accessed and seen easily with them, and so there are no chances of any disputes happening because there is so much of transparency in the system and so on. And at the end of the day, all this data is available for instant reports. So this is the basic details about our Timbeter storage module. Now let's just go ahead and see the Timbeter storage module, how it looks in real time. This is the main screen of the storage module, which you can access from app.timbeter.com. Now coming down to it, you can see on top of it here where storage is written, you can actually select storage or container based on which app you're using. So for example, if you're using this Timbeter regular app, you need to keep selecting this storage option. Otherwise, if you're using the Timbeter container app, in that case, you will have to select the container details from here, and it will show you all the details about the container measurements. But let's just have a look at this for now. Like we showed you, these are all the storages that a person can create in the organizational level, and all the details can be filtered from here on top based on the start the end date or the measurement type and so on. Like for example, if this is the incoming type of measurement, these details are also selected on the mobile app while taking the measurements and so on. So you can filter with that. You can select the storage status based on that. You can filter as well and so on. So These ones are the names of the storages that a person can create. You can actually see the coordinates, you can see the last update, the status of the storage, and so on, like we showed earlier. If I click on this, I can see all the measurements that were done earlier or recently in this particular storage. And I can access these pictures from here. I can see what is the measurement type selected. I can see the map coordinates, the type of wood species selected, and the log length, etc. Now, if you want to see this in detail, you can also click on this picture, which will open the measurements that you have done. And you can see here, these are the different diameter profiles. It shows the log diameters, the reference line as well. So if I select this or unselect this, you can actually see the actual picture as well, which it's taken. This is basically the density measurement as well. So for the density area, this green area has been selected as the density area. And so you can deselect it and see as well. Also, you can see the wood assortment here and the logs ranges based on the details of the logs. You can also see deselect or select the reference lines and so on. So these measurements you can see are done. If I click on this option, you can actually see all the map coordinates. So for example, in this one particularly, the person has not selected the location, but if the location is selected, it can actually show you the actual map coordinate of that as well. Here, like we saw in the PPT, similarly, we can see here the log by log diameter profile as well. You can also download this in Excel format if you want. And if this is the measurement basically, so if like we said, we can always go back to the measurements and edit it from the storage module level as well. So if in case you want to do that, you can just click on here and you can see this and you can edit it from here. So you can select, deselect, you can change the sizes. You can also, if in case there is some log which is missed out, you can add it. You can also remove logs without QR code if in case you are using QR code and so on. But for now, let's just exit it and go back to this. So all these details which have been selected initially while making the measurements are available here for us. Now, coming down to it, these are all the different storages that can be created and viewed here on the organization level. You can also add the manual measurements from here if in case you want to add some measurements that you had done previously and you want to access the same data, all of it in one place. You can also do that from here. You can share this particular storage's details with others if you require from here. Now, let's just go and see this options of Timbeter organization. So basically, this is where your name of the company will appear. You can go and select these options in order to do different things, access different functionalities of the account. So for example, when we talked about adding different users under the same account, you can do it from here. If I click here, it will just take me to the user addition section. From here, you can add a new user. You can also delete once if you want to delete someone from the account. You can also give different roles. So for example, this person is the measurer, but this person is the regular user who has a little bit more details or a little bit more access as compared to measurer. And then this is the admin account. So admin account details, you can always delete it or add new people as well. Now, if I go to devices, okay, just a second. Right, so once this device option opens, you can also see the details of the device, people who are using those devices. So their email ID will also appear here. This is just a test account, so of course all the details are not mentioned here, and the number of measurements that they have done and when they have done it. So you can always add more devices from here as well. And you can add custom fields from here. Basically, like we discussed, if you have certain additional details that you want to add to your measurements and so on, you can add it from here. And from my account, you can see your basic organizational details. Storages is again something that we have already seen. The details of storage, you can see it from there. You can also see the inventories that you have created. So you can create different inventories and you can, add them from here, and you can see them all from here under it, from this section. So when it was created and what's the total of the inventory and what's the outgoing, incoming, and so on. Each and every detail is available for you to see here. Now going to the report section. These are the reports which have been created so far, and you can also filter them here from the date option, and you can see what all formula volume unit has been created, selected for them. Now, if you go to one of these reports examples, how we saw the log reports earlier. So similarly, we can see all the details here in detail, assortment wise as well. So assortment is like we discussed during the presentation. Okay, assortment can actually include different details about the tree species or the types of wood, the quality of the wood, and the place where it's measured, and so on. And based on which these different assortments can be added from the storage module, and these can also be edited, and then in future if you require anybody to add measurements under a particular assortment, they can do it via the app. If you click on any of these reports, again you can see all these details again. As you can see here, the location was selected, and so we can see it actually on the map, and it becomes very easy for us to understand where exactly the measurement has been taken, which gives complete control and transparency to the system. Now from here also you can similarly go and edit the measurements if you require, how we did earlier, and so on. So this is basically the entire storage module. We have many other extra features as well which are available, and which we can talk to you further about. If you have more questions, you can also of course write to us in the text section available in Livestorm webinar, and we can take all the questions now if you require. However, even later, if you have any questions post the webinar ends, you can always write to us at info@timbeter.com, and we will be happy to help you out. For organizations and particularly people who are attending this webinar, we would like to, by default, there are 10 free pictures which are available for you to use on the app for measurements. However, if you would like to start an organizational trial, we are happy to extend that for you. You just need to reach out to us on the same ID, info@timbeter.com, and we will extend it for you for a certain time, during which you can actually do all the measurements and see whether Timbeter can be of help to you. And of course, we have, like we discussed in the other webinars and details earlier, we have many organizations using our solution today, including some big names, for example, CMPC from Latin America. Then we have Georgia Exports Company. We have a lot of governmental organizations as well. Like now recently we have started working with Polish States Forest as well. And in Thailand, we are working with this big name, which a lot of you would have heard, CM Cement Group. And many more names are there. And a lot of them, most of these organizations find storage module as a very, very important feature, because not just the measurement, but managing the reports and managing the data is a very, very crucial aspect of doing groundwood measurements. So in order to give you a complete control and accessibility, storage module comes into picture. And yes, so we are open to questions now. Once again, thank you so much for your time. And yeah, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the demo. As I said before, after this webinar it's ends, you will receive an email with uh, guides and some step by step guides on how to get started with Timbeter, but also how to create inventories and how to work and manage your team in different locations. I think it's important to say that when you download the application or register a new account in the storage module, you receive a basic with basic features in the storage module. So some of the features that Jyotsna just show us won't be available for you. So this is why we can extend this organization trial. As I said, well, I don't. As I said, you can always send us your questions. If you have a specific question right now, you can write it down in the tabs for questions, and we will try to take it. Otherwise, I wanted to show you this in our website in the blog section. You can find different guides, news about our company, but also you can find case studies like this one from Thailand, and how they use Timbeter regular in their operations, and to work with local farmers. But also you will find other case studies for timber exporters, or companies that are working with pulp or firewood, and paper. So, okay. I wanted to thank you again for your time today, for your interest in Timbeter. Please get in touch with us if you have any questions, and if you want to do an organizational trial. Please stay safe, and we hope to see you next time. Thank you.